test. Cool. All right, hey, shalom, shalom. All right. First and foremost, I want to give honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakadash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutations and hope for the elect. God that diligently pushing the word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, man. So, as you see in the title, all right, the title of the lesson, my thoughts on this port strike. All right, now, brothers have been, doing countless videos of what's coming down the pipe within the next, within the next month, really within the next couple weeks. All right, because as of today, starting or last night rather, at midnight, they went ahead and went on this strike. Okay, pretty much because the International Longshoremen Association, the president, they're fighting, on a couple different fronts. One being when the whole C-19 thing happened. All these major corporations was getting all kind of benefits, money. They were raking in the dough, whereas the employees, they didn't get compensated, and they want to. I think it was like a 40% increase that got increased to 50%, but they were asking for, I think, like 70 something percent, something along those lines, so they're fighting that. They're pretty much, because China right now they have their whole port thing is ran automated. It's like an automation kind of deal. It's all robotic. All right. Well, America is trying to incorporate the same concept, but the workers are like pretty much saying no. All right, because it takes them out of a job. All right, takes them out of the way. All right, which will prevent them from being able to fend for themselves, all right, feed their families, pay their bills, so on and so forth. So they're going on strike, okay? On another note, right, well, I think I hit it. So the pay and then automation. I think there was one more reason. I can't really think of it off the top of my head. But the point of the matter is, hey, they're on strike. Now, whether they don't know how long this is going to take, okay, they're saying if anything over, 3 daes, okay, because every day that goes by, I think they lose roughly around $5 billion. Okay, so you're talking about $5 billion every single day. Let's just say for 3 days, no one is working. That's 15 billion right there. Now let's just say this goes over a span of a week, 2 weeks. Everybody's going to feel the effects of it. All right, starting with these major, companies, these depots and these warehouses and things of that nature. All right, the parts aren't going to be coming in. Right, you got to factor in people's medical supplies, hospitals. Right, hospitals need supplies. They need syringes. They need IVs. They need machines. Right, goods. Food, toilet paper, anything you could possibly think of, gas, oil, right? Because say this whole thing happens, what happens to the oil? Okay, gas is going to jump through the roof, right? We saw a little glimpse of that a couple years back, okay? But it's only going to increase. It's only going to get even worse, right? So you may be good, all right, for maybe the month of October, maybe, okay? But come November, December, even January, all right, if things don't get resolved, which through the Spirit, we pray and hope that it doesn't, Okay, because we want this thing to continue. Therefore, that way these prophecies can really start ramping up. Okay, and when all hell does break loose, then then we'll know that the Lord is right around the corner. All right. So, and this isn't even a topic of what else is going on in the world, because I could pivot and go a whole other direction with this whole Israel and Iran situation, but we're gonna stay on topic. Okay. It's just everything is coming full circle. Everything is adding up. Everything is making sense. All right, because what we have to reference are these scriptures. Okay. So, real quick, I want to start in the book of 2nd Ezra, 6th chapter, and I'll start at verse 20, and it says, "And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished," which we're seeing it, this world slowly but surely vanishing away. All right, the economy, the people, all right, the job market is diminishing. People aren't getting the jobs that they need. The wages that they're receiving, they're not able to make ends meet. You got people on TikTok, Instagram doing all these different posts about how hard it is to survive out here. This is just the beginning. This is the beginning of sorrows. All right, it says, "Then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children, 3 or 4 months." So we're talking about premature, children, so on and so forth. It says that they shall live and be raised up. And here's the point, verse 22. "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown." All right. Now, what are the sown places? We're talking about these grocery stores. We're talking about these outlets, these Home Depots, Walmarts, Costco's. All those things are about to get scrubbed, man. All those things is about to get purged, all right, because people are going to panic buy, okay, which the result of panic buying is things coming off the shelf. So in order for, and because they're not being replenished with supplies, they have to counterbalance it by upping the price of their goods. So, right, it says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." All right, so by week 2, week 3, things is going to be coming off the shelf, and you're going to see it at a high rate. Okay, because especially over there on the East Coast. Now they're talking about how the West Coast is still operational. All right, the West Coast is still going to be operational, and they're going to have to, pretty much divert all the port stops over here to the West Coast, okay, which is going to cost more fuel, right? Gas to get, the ships to migrate around I think it's not the Suez Canal, but the Panama Canal, if I'm not mistaken. So now that one stop that would go through, the East Coast, Baltimore, Florida, some down in the Gulf, they're going to have to go around through Central America, through the Panama Canal, and then find their way back up to the West Coast. So still, no matter which way you look at it, prices are about to go up, not just here in America, but globally. It says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid." And hey, we're blowing the trumpet through the Spirit, man, in terms of, letting you know, forewarning you of what's coming down the line, in the form of prophecy. Okay, and this being one of the major ones, okay, that could start this whole thing. Now, back in I want to say about 6 months or so, give or take, the Houthis, Hezbollah, they was, pirating over there in the Middle East, pretty much causing cargo ships and everything to go around, or make, having alternative routes, all right, to meet their destinations, because they were going in and pretty much, looting, robbing these vessels, okay, taking stuff, all right, and then dipping, So at that point, things we kind of saw through the Spirit how it was going to affect the supply chain, and inflation was going to go through the roof. Well, that was just in that area or that jurisdiction, in that area. But this particular, in this particular instance, okay, this could affect the whole world, okay, because they get supplies from us, we get supplies from them, okay. You're talking about if things go up in price, you're talking about you got to factor in stock markets, you know, foreign exchange, all these different other means of trade, okay, which people are going to, you know, pretty much everything's just going to crumble, you know, for lack of a better word, man, you know, and we're seeing the fruit of that. We're seeing the fruit of Esau being in power, you know, and this is the result of it. It says, verse 24, at that time shall friends fight one against another like the enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, in 3 hours they shall not run. Okay, so, you know, you're gonna have friends busting into people's home, you know, their friends' homes. All right, you know, I think I saw a video of how, you know, link up or create like a clan or a group of people, you know, but you can't do that, man. Okay, you can't do that. And the truth, right? Being is true. All we got the brotherhood, you know. The brotherhood is all we can trust. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is all we can trust. We're not to put our trust in, you know, in 2/3. You can't put your trust in the heathen, you know, because they're going to try to find a way to overthrow you somehow, some way. They know when you got food in your fridge, right? They know you got, you know, supplies, medical supplies. You got, you know, protection or whatever. They're coming to you, man. They come in to take what's yours, right? Unless you have Yahweh Shem Yahushua on your side, man. You know, these people are going to be in a very pitiful case, man. So I want to get 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 14. It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." So the Lord is sending forth these plagues. Who is this fool? Get him off. What's he even talking about? I don't know how to get rid of him. He ain't talking about nothing. Yeah, man, we sticking to the prophecies, man, and I don't know what that is. What you referring to? Yeah, no, you ain't talking about nothing. So let's go back. It says, verse 15: "The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consumes the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer to return it not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again." Okay, so literally what we know to be normal, right? It's going to be a thing of the past, man. You know, life as we know it is about to start changing at a high rate. Okay, because the Lord is sending forth plagues. You know, He's sending forth, you know, and this economy shutdown potentially is a plague. Okay, you know, because it's going to plague America to the point where it won't be sufficient enough to run on its own. Okay, not unless they try to bring in another system, which will eventually lead to the Charagma, which is the MOTB, the CHIP, that they're going to require and mandate everybody to get in their hand or in their head. Okay, in order to buy or sell, so in the Revelation 13:16 on down. Okay, but these are the plagues that the Lord is starting to send, and they're sent to get people to come to, right, so that they can repent. But they're not going to regard the Lord, man, you know, and that's why they're really going to have to suffer. Okay, it says verse 17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. All right. Now, the men of the Lord are already in the state of mourning anyways. Okay, because in the book of Ecclesiastes, right, it says it's better to be in the spirit of mourning, or something along those lines. Let me just get the scripture. All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes 7 and start at verse 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay to his heart. Okay, because hey, people are filling their bellies, deliciously, man. They're filling their belly. You know what? Let me get something in the NLT. I'm gonna just keep reading this, and it says, verse 3: sorrow is better than laughter. The men of the Lord are sorrowful. We're sorrowful for our sins, all right, for the iniquity that we've committed both in this present life and in former lives. It says the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, right? We are in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth, right? But what does Ezekiel the 21st chapter says? It says the sword is being furbished, okay? Pretty much, why make mirth? Why be in the spirit of mirth? This is Ezekiel chapter 21 and verse 9, and it reads, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. Right? So, hey, should we make mirth if the Lord is starting to, furbish his sword, right? Because he's going to use Esau to try to come down on Jacob, man. Okay, and this being the primary source of that, potentially if this goes through, which we through the Spirit believe that it is, man. Okay, we are living in those times. Okay. I think that was we read that already, so let me man, I forgot where I was going with that, but either way, so the Lord is getting ready to send these punishments, man. All right, so going back to 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 18, it says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginnings of famine and great death. Oh, that's what I was going to get, because I was reading Ecclesiastes chapter 7, and it talks about, it's better to be in the spirit of mourning than in the house of feasting, right? And then it said in Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 2, it says it is better to go to the house of mourning than go to the house of feasting. And I was saying that because people are filling their bellies, living deliciously in terms of their lifestyle, eating, gluttonous, all right, people eating themselves into comas, right? There's no way that we should be getting the itis after we eat, Hey, I'm guilty of it too, man, but that's why these scriptures, when we say these things, is really be for us, first and foremost, and then everybody else. This is the book of Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 4. It says, the tongue of the suckling child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. You see, so even the very young children, okay, are going to, their tongues are going to be stuck to the roof of their mouth because of dehydration. Okay, women aren't going to be able to produce the milk, all right, that they naturally produce through their breasts, right? Even children asking for food, bread, right? People are going to be out here starving, man, and this is the catalyst of Jacob's trouble, man. Famine being one of the main punishments, right? Verse 5, it says, they that feed deliciously, right, are desolate in the streets, and they are brought up in scarlet, embrace dunghills. Right? Real quick, I want to read this in the NLT. Bear with me. Skip the NLT. What was that? Lamentations 4 and 4. It says, Lamentations 4:4. They let their babies die of hunger and thirst. Children are begging for food, and no one will give them. People who once ate the finest foods die starving in the streets. Those raised in luxury are pawing through garbage for food. Woo. So everybody's going to be on the same playing field in that day, man. All right, people who flaunt on Instagram, social media, these influencers, women over here shaking their ass for likes and validation from men, right? Whatever the case is, man. People who these LeBron James, these celebrities, okay? It says, people who once ate the finest foods die starving in the streets. Those raised in luxury are pawing through garbage for food. It says, my people have been punished even more than the inhabitants of Sodom, which met a sudden downfall at the hands of the Most High. So the punishment of Babylon the Great is going to far exceed Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Okay? Because Sodom and Gomorrah was impacted, and the 5 surrounding cities, but the inhabitable world in itself, or the country, the region was still there. All right? But in this case, Babylon is about to be wiped off the map. Okay? Verse 7, our princes were undefiled and pure as snow, vigorous and strong, glowing with health. Now they lie unknown in the streets, their face blackened into death, their skin dry as wood, has shriveled on their bones. And here, look at this, verse 9. Those who die in the war were better off than those who die later, who starved slowly to death with no food to keep them alive. Man. Reading that in the KJV, that last part, it says, verse 9, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. You see, so it's better to die of the sword than of hunger, okay? And famine is about to be one of the main things that people are going to feel the most, okay? Because naturally your body, has an appetite, your body starts craving certain things. And now people have the liberty and luxury to just go to the fridge, grab something real quick, cook it, eat it, and be satisfied. Or go to a grocery store, get what you need, come back, cook it, or even go to a restaurant. People are conditioned to think that that's going to be, that's going to be how it is forever. But, and majority of people have no idea that this pork strike could, have a series of events that could lead to famine, hunger, all right, starvation, right? Real quick, I'm gonna come back to 2nd Ezra 16, but I want to get this in Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. So the Lord is punishing the world for their evil and for their iniquities. All right, starting with the house of Yahweh Shem Shai, the children of Israel, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, and then the heathen are going to get it as well. It says, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Okay, so those who gotten riches through usury and unjust gain, right? Talking about these these elites, okay, these people that are in power, right? This is the book of Proverbs 28 and 8. It says, he that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Yeah. That was pretty much it. Verse 8. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather for him that will pity the poor. Okay? And that's what Esau, through his pride, man, that's what he's done. Over the course of, his existence, he'd always steal and take, what's not his, and still not even being satisfied. Right? So going back to Isaiah 13 and 12, it says, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. Right? So a true, a man of the Lord is going to be, precious than fine gold. Why? Because we have been purged, okay, of the iniquities, okay, and we've been cleansed through the blood of Yahweh, through the blood of Yahushua. I want to get Sirach, the 2nd chapter in the NLT. All right, Sirach, the 2nd chapter, because this is one of the main scriptures that really jumped out to me, because we in those times, man, for sure. This is Sirach 2 and 1 in the NLT version, right? My child, if you are going to serve the Lord, prepare for times when you will be put to the test. Okay, and in this time, this approaching time that we're coming into, we're going to be put to the test, man. All right, the Lord has been giving us tests here and there, tests there, and if you endure, you're still here, But these ultimately to try to prepare us for the big test. All right, the hour of temptation that it speaks on in Revelation. I believe that's the 2nd chapter. It says, verse 2, be sincere and determined. Keep calm when troubles come. Keep calm when this comes, man, because you have to understand that the Lord is still on our side, man. He's not doing Jacob's trouble is not for the hopeful elect. Jacob's trouble is for 2/3, okay, to pretty much rid of all the iniquity within the house of Israel, right? It says, keep calm when your troubles come. Stay with the Lord. Never abandon him, and you will be prosperous at the end of your days. Accept whatever comes to you, even if you suffer humiliation. Be patient. Gold is tested by fire, and human character is tested in the furnace of humiliation. Trust in the Lord, and he will help you. Walk straight in his ways, and put your hope in him. Right? So we are to put our faith and trust and hopes all in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We got to be all in at this point. All right, there's no turning back. Okay, you have to already have been spiritually and mentally just departed from Babylon the Great at this point, and just be ready for these things to come on the earth, so that this man and his rulership can move out of the way, and a righteous one will be established in his stead, or in his place, which is Yahushua. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn away from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Okay, because you have more people that are choosing death over life through continuously living within folly, right? So when these people were going to try to call on the Lord at the last minute, the Lord is going to reject them. Okay, because while they yet had liberty, right, they loathed the laws of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Real quick, I want to get 2nd Ezra 15 and verse, or Salakia, 2nd Ezra 9. 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 6. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And everyone that shall be escaped, or Salakia, and everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith whereby ye have believed. So not only does it require your works, what have your works done? What have you shown? Like, what have you done for the Lord, man, and in the body? What have you done for the ministry? What have you done for him lately? Okay. It says, and by faith whereby ye have believed. So works and faith, they go hand in hand. All right. And that's what that's what we're banking on, right? Is we're putting all our chips in towards the works that we are committed to, because we vowed a vow in being watchmen, okay, and warning the people. The very first lesson that anyone ever does, you're committing. You're not committing, but you're pretty much making a vow unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case. All right, because you're going to have a lot of people are going to be in a very pitiful case, in a very tough situation. Okay, because they haven't really gone through much, right? In retrospect, as the men of the Lord had. Okay, us being in this truth, we walk on a very straight and narrow path, right? Walking through to get to the kingdom, we got to go through the straight gate, which is a position of difficulty. It goes into that in 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter, all right, where it talks about how fire on the right, all right, and deep water on the left, okay, and only one man can enter in and out of it, loosely paraphrasing, okay. So we've been in a position of tribulation. We've been in a position of our faith being tested, all right, and the Lord saw us through it, okay. So what is that? Either 1st or 2nd Corinthians, the 10th chapter says, no man has been tempted above. Let me see. Let me just get it real quick. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. There have no temptation taken you, but as such is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Right? So, hey, we've been put through certain, temptations. Okay, but the Lord He always finds a way for us to get out of those situations. Okay, as in the days to come. Right? Isaiah the 65th chapter goes into how, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. My servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Okay, the Lord is going to look out for his elect. Okay, so that's the difference between, those who will be in a pitiful case and those who may, in fact, have an abundance thereof. Right? Real quick, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 26. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. You see, so that's what we're hoping for. Okay, we're in a sorrowful and mourning state right now, but Jacob's trouble, the Lord may actually flip it around on us, man, to where we're rejoicing while everybody's out here suffering, dying of famine, pestilences, the sword, Esau, right? The true servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai are going to be taken care of, man. Whether that's through nourishment, okay, physically speaking, or even spiritually speaking, okay. The Lord may if you escape the city or escape the sword, escape Esau and his martial law troops, okay, you're able to go out to the wilderness, okay, and flee. The Lord is going to sustain you. He's going to give you the food and the things that you need, the shelter that you need, right? Even if you were to stay here, you get caught up, right? And these martial law troops come break down your door because they know where you live, right? And take you to some concentration camp. Hey, the Lord is He's going to boost your spirit. Your spirit is going to be in the spirit of just like, if you ever watch Goku or Dragon Ball Z, they get all, hyped up, right? Through the spirit, and that's how the men of the Lord are going to be in that day, man. The Lord is going to give you an increase, right? Your faith is going to skyrocket because you're going to know that you may have been chosen, man. Right? Because it says that in 2nd Ezra 16 and verse, I know I'm using a lot of the Apocrypha, but you know, hey, this is the reason why they took it out. These reasons why they took it out to begin with. But through the Spirit of the Lord, hey, it says the truth shall flourish. You know, loosely paraphrasing. Right. Anyways, let's. It says, 2 Ezra 16 and verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. That's a prophecy that could happen, right? But in the midst of that, the Lord is going to, He's going to increase you. He's going to build you up, right? It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold is in the fire, as gold in the fire. It says, hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. See, so the Lord is going to deliver those who are in those situations. You see what happened? Who was it? Peter. Okay, when he escaped the prison, when he escaped, being taken in. Right, an angel came and smote him on the side and told him, "Hey, get up and go." Right, he was out of there, and he went to go do the work, man. You know. Hey man, those situations may arise. Okay, so either way you look at it, whether you got to fend for yourself, not even fend for yourself because the Lord's going to be with you, right? Or you get taken into a concentration camp, hey, the Lord's still going to be with you. So no matter which way you look at it, the Lord got you 100%. He got your front, He got your six, He got you covered. Okay, even if you got to be beheaded for the sake of the ministry, for Yahweh Shai's sake, He's going to give you the spirit to be able to endure that situation, right? Okay, you may be under the chopping block, right? And who knows? You may be tried up until the very point that your head is on that chopping block and they put the little thing around your neck, right? That thing comes down or it malfunctions. It don't come down. It don't get your neck, right? Or it does come down. It dulls the blade, doesn't do any damage to you. Hey, or it may, and then you off to the spirit world, and that's you should rejoice in that time because hey, you don't have to suffer no more. It says the dead shall rise first. You're gonna be the first ones, with Yahweh Shai, man. Man, it's either way you look at it, we're gonna be okay, man. And you gotta understand that. So don't let these things really affect you real quick. This is 2 Ezra 10 and 24, and therefore shake off the great heaviness and put away the multitude of sorrows, that the mighty may be merciful unto thee again, and the highest shall give thee rest and ease of thy labor. So the Lord's going to give us rest and ease from everything that we put into serving Him the best way that we possibly can, So back to 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 9, it says, they shall be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. You see, because they rebuked the counsel of the Lord, the men of the Lord. Okay, they didn't want to take heed to the sayings, right? Let me read that again. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. People are going to be tormented when trying to call on the Lord, and the Lord's not going to hear them. This is Jeremiah 11 and 11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. You see? He goes back into that in Proverbs, the first chapter, right? So there's no escaping the judgment of Yahweh Shai, especially for those who committed all matters of abominations and willingly at that. 2 Ezra 16 and 10, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, because ultimately everything that anybody's ever had, from the very marker, right, to the food that you have in your pantry or in your fridge, to the clothing you have on your back, right? The Lord is the one who blessed you with all of this stuff, man. It says, and have not known me. So after all of this, they still think it to be their own doing. which is furthest from the truth. Verse 11, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not and despised it. Okay, so they had the liberty and the luxury of getting this information, all right, on the internet, by way of the unicorn, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever brothers use to upload their lessons to feed the sheep, right? They can't say that they have never heard it. You can't say that they never seen us, right? Because they're going to have to answer for that by way of, we're going to read it. The same shall know it after death by pain. You see? They're gonna know by when it's too late. Okay? They're gonna have to know it through death. All right? They're gonna have to know it through pain, through suffering. You know, even certain family members. Certain family members are gonna have to, because they're gonna reject it too. That just means that they're not of the elect. They may be of the elect nation, all right? But they may not be of the elect, and it's so be it. All we got is to focus on is ourselves, and then we can focus in on our loved ones. But our doing and our diligence could in fact deliver our loved ones, if it's the Lord's will, right? Yep. So yeah, man. So that was pretty much the point. I just wanted to touch base on that real quick. I want to get this too. 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and 8, it says, there shall be a confusion also in many places. All right, people are going to be in confused states, confused state of mind. People over here in California, you think they're paying any attention to what's going on over there on the East Coast? Or how that can affect people over here? They probably not. More than likely, majority of these people out here, I would say 90% of the population in California, which there was a study done, 80% of people live on the Eastern Hemisphere, and what was it, like 11% live on the western part of west, pretty much. If it's split and divided in half, Texas, Oklahoma, the east side is 80%. On the other side is 20. But in California alone, it was like somewhere, I think it was like 11% of the population live in California alone, and only 9% lives in the Midwest, or like Colorado, Iowa, Dakotas, things like that, right? So you're talking about 11% of the population is not paying no mind to what's going on over there on the East Coast. Okay, at least not for the first couple weeks. When it really starts to come down and people are scrambling, and you start hearing the news, cars ain't coming through the dealerships. All right, you say you have a car malfunction, right? You need to get some new spark plugs, or you need to this is a test for myself too, because I probably need to learn how to do a couple of these things. But you say you go to the car dealership, they can't even perform certain things to get your car working, because they don't have the certain parts, right? So then people over here on the West Coast are going to start seeing, start feeling those effects, after about a couple weeks or so. All right, and then as prices start going up, people are going to be like, oh hell no, let me go get X, Y, and Z real quick, stock up on these, and then next thing you know, so you're talking about within the next. I would say, and this is just me speaking as a man, I would say if this doesn't get resolved by the end of December, 2025 is going to be the year of all hell breaking loose, man. All hell breaking loose. I'm talking Jacob's trouble, in 2025. And that's just me speaking as a man, Lord willing that's the case, but, it is what it is. We just pray and hope. That way the Lord can come soon, man. We're that close. We're that close, man. 2nd Ezra 5 and verse 8, there shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and mischievous women shall bring forth monsters. And salt water shall be found in the sweet, all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into its secret chamber. So understanding is going to be withdrawn. Okay? Understanding of what's going on, prophecies, all that is about to be withdrawn from the world, from the earth. Okay, which aligns perfectly with Amos, the 8th chapter, and then we're going to wrap it up. It's the book of Amos, chapter 8, in verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Now, granted, there will be a famine of bread and water, but that's not what this particular scripture is referring to. It's talking about, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And according to 2 Ezra 5, it says, understanding withdraw itself into its secret chamber. Okay? You know? Understanding is going to withdraw itself, meaning the men of the Lord aren't going to be out there teaching no more. Men of the Lord aren't going to be uploading videos anymore. Okay? But it's going to be in the secret chamber. Okay? It's going to revert or go back to its secret chamber, which is, through the Spirit, our spirits, and through, the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not be able to find it. They should not find it. So they're going to be out here seeking answers, trying to, see what's coming or what's going to happen. How can I get this? How can I do this? Hey, man, if the Lord wasn't dealing with you then, now he's not going to be dealing with you then, man. Okay? And lastly, I want to get Psalm 74 and verse 9. We see not our signs. There is no prophet. There is no more any prophet. Neither is there among us any that knoweth how long. Okay? So people are going to be like, how long do I have to wait for things to go back to normal? It's not going to. Right? They're not going to see the prophets, okay, bringing out this word anymore. Then will they have known that a prophet had been among them. So Ezekiel 33 and 33. So, that was pretty much it that I wanted to speak on. All right, Lord willing, it was an edifying lesson. So with that, I want to give honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chahak Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the hopeful elect. And until next time, Shalom. Shalom to all the listeners. All right, until next time.